Another class, another rehearsal, nothing to eat. Must get going. It's one late tonight. I should try and sort out the first entrance, that's always the hardest. So if I go from a corner and step, 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 yum, plum. Dee-da-da-dum, da-dee-da-dee-da-dum, da-dee-da-dee-da. Now, I'm complicating my life already. It's much better to keep it simpler. I run from a corner, so cha-plom. Dee-da-da-dum, and I look around. Da-dee-da-dee-da-dum. Da-dee-da-dee-da-dee, dee-da, he's there. Da-dee-da-dee-da-da. No, he could catch me easily like that. That's no good. If I do arabesque and I'm frightened, now, yes, I do a big arm movement and run, da-da-da-dee-da-da-dee-dum. Then he comes round, and dee-da-dum, and where is he? Where is he? Where is he? And he's there.
I must look crazy. I must be crazy. I should really be in the Crazy Horse Saloon, or the Lido, just like my mother always said. Mon truc en plume. Shoes. Too soft. 5 for the left foot. 2 for the right foot. I wonder why Petipa had to do all the choreography on the left foot. Maybe he had a row with his ballerina.
Let's see. Pancake for the shoes, eyelash glue, pale tights, elastic on the feathers, my crowns. Oh good, I can wear the big one. My prince is tall this time. Must have a steak before performance. It's funny to think that originally, because Pavel Gert, the first prince, was not in his prime anymore, all the lifts in the second act had to be done by a prince's friend. Bit of a ménage à trois. I do wish there was time to change my left shoe before the fouettes. It's always completely crooked by that time. Apparently the ballet was a complete flop at the first night in Moscow. Strange to think 100 years later we're still dancing it. My ankle's still sore. Must get some tiger balm. They say cat's piss is very good. I really should try.
Somebody taught you the piano is not the wardrobe. You always put your clothes all over the place.
Sorry, Jimmy. You know, I've been thinking, you know, to pull together the second act and the third act so that the white swan and the black swan look a bit like each other in the choreography. You know how in the second act, the solo, the end of it goes da-dee, da-da-da-dee, da-dee, da-da-dee,
oh, yeah.
da-da-da. And in the third act, in the coda, da-da-da-da-dee-da-da. She's going ta-ta-ta-tee, ta-ta-ta-ta. Well, it's a bit dark, so I thought if I make swanny arms, tee, ta-ta-ta-ta-tee.
Well, to me it looks more like a vulture than a swan. Listen, you can't be tired already. You haven't done anything today. You didn't do finished class. You've been fooling around on stage. I watched you.
I'll pull myself together for a performance. You know, I've got a new trick. Do you know that fantastic tiger's milk?
Tiger's milk.
It puts a lot of zip into one.
Well, let's put a bit of zip then, without tiger's milk or with it, into a black swan. That's what we're doing tonight, aren't we?
But Jimmy, I can't do anything. I mean, I'm all by myself.
Well, that's the story of your life. I don't want to hear that.
Oh, I tell you what we can do.
What?
You know about the balance, the tiam, where are you? Tiam, please?
Yes, that's what's right.
So, yum.
Hold it. I don't believe it. We've lost one already.
Jimmy, I hope I'm not going to wobble tonight.
Well, why don't we wobble through, say, a few fuetes?
Oh, you know, I don't think I'll do a fuetes on this rake. Have you seen it?
You've got to do the fuetes, please. Pass your Black Swan in London, not do the fuetes.
Well, look, Bentley, very steady. Anyway, you know the story about the fuetes?
Oh, I soon will.
At the first performance, Pierina Lignani didn't even do those famous 32 fuetes.
How do you know? Were you there?
What I would like to do, the two secondes, you know, the third act. We take from there, yum, da 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 da.
Where do you take the accent on it?
On the... Exactly. No, Jimmy! No,
In my humble opinion, for what it's worth, it isn't much I know, I think that step would be much, much easier, take it a bit faster. If you pull on the up.
It's not easier, and anyway, this is petit pas. It's got to be position, 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 position. I mean, if it were balancing. Then I'll do you Roland Petit.
A little more, say, in the romantic style of this hour.
La Sylphide.
What are you up to?
Thinking. Working.
I can see that.
Writing my choreographic memoir.
Oh,
want to know?
yeah.
How are you?
Okay, not too bad. How come you didn't finish class, Mona? I mean, that's not like you. You're always in there.
Well, I thought I'd better come and try the stage.
Yeah.
I know, you see, in this hill, we've got time.
We're going to have a few problems, huh?
Well, my main problem is that when I go up it, my foot's like that. When I go down it, my foot's like that. And I've got such a sore ankle anyway.
You too. You know, my ankle's bad, my knee, my back, my shoulder. Woke up with a terrible headache this morning. Went up to my toe. The whole leg's gone on that side.
Oh, poor darling.
Well, I feel fantastic. Anybody want to
Morning, Jimmy.
Well, kind.
Oh, you know, I've been reading something very interesting.
Yeah.
It's the biography of Isadora Duncan.
Uh-huh.
And she says that the center of all movement is the solar plexus.
Solar who?
The solar plexus. You know, at your navel, just a little bit below it. That's the center of everything, and it's marvelous because if you think of that, you see, it avoids that it's just your legs moving, your arms moving for no reason at all. It's that it really surges up from inside you and you breathe.
Look, not so much
I wish you'd say that that dancing was a silent art as well.
Yes, I'll go along with that.
Oh, Jim, you're going to be very pleased.
For once.
In this production, we've got all the mime in the second act. So we won't bother you about tempo over that.
Mona, all I know is that we've got to start very gently. I mean, I'm really ginched.
Well, why don't we do the first... Why don't we do the mime?
All right, well, look, we've done the lift. Put you down there. Now where'd you go? Round that way.
And, yum, bum, bum, bum.
Just from the start.
Jimmy, you see where we are?
I have seen Swan Lake before, you know. Brilliant. Right.
That mime's supposed to be a dialogue between us. You didn't even notice that I wasn't there. I can't be out there somewhere.
I mean, it's I, you, love, it's very clear. And in the middle of all of that, there's an arabesque.
What do you mean there's an arabesque in the middle? There has never been an arabesque in the middle of a mime. It's not traditional.
Nonsense.
And it's very clear anyway. It's I, queen, swans, over there. My mother's tears, over there, one.
Just leave me out. I've got enough for it.
I mean, what are we working on this for? We're doing Black Swan tonight.
Oh, you know, last time I did the Black Swan pas de deux, I gave my partner such a kick.
Where?
Great. You know that da-dee-da, the diagonal, da-dee-da-dee-da, George Trust?
I think we ought to.
You know what we are doing? Da-dee-da-dee-da.
Up there. You're moving your arms, your legs, your feet, you're wiggling all over the place.
I can't be like a bit of wood. I've got to give.
Well, just remember Isadora's whatnot.
Solar plexus. Anyway, Isadora didn't have to be lifted and she wasn't a classical dancer.
Oh, that's true.
You know, it's nowadays, they expect us to do all that modern stuff, and on the same day, a classical pas de deux. And I try and find my center again. I place myself in fifth position, in front of a mirror. I think I'm straight. And I'm like that.
Look, it's not that complicated. Well, where'd you put your arms up there for a start? You mean first arabesque or here?
On that arabesque?
Yeah.
Well, sort of swanny. No?
All right, well, look, just leave them there. Now take the first arabesque. Now keep square. Plie and.
All right.
Fine. Now give.
Yes, do it. Is that all right?
Well, like that, it's fine. As long as you keep still up there.
Oh, I think I know what it is. Jonathan, let's do, you know that second act lift that I was having
Maynard, if we do the lifts, up and down and up and down and up and down all day, I'm really going to have nothing left for tonight. That's my complaint. Oh.
I see. Sit down, strike. I'm going to be condemned to going dee-da-da-dee-da-da-dee-da-da, all by myself as usual.
Let's do something from my solo. The last step, the double tours. Maynard, would you have a look?
Okay, okay.
Jimmy?
Well, I forgot to ask you, at this performance, how do you want it? You want it too fast or you want it too slow?
Jimmy, you just play it and I'll try and recognise it. Going to do on this rope with those pirouettes? I mean, I'm like this.
No, but I saw something very strange in spiritual work. I don't understand why you're on your knee there when the music is going fiddly-dum.
Fiddly-dum?
Ah, you see, that's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Surely the tour on air should be on that. So if you go da-yum-ba-dee-da-da-da-dum, fiddly-dum.
And then finish?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
I think so. So if you start a little bit later, I think it'll work.
The whole first step?
Yeah.
I should try is the manage, I think.
Yes, right. Oh, yes, you've got space. Well, the piano is here, so you'll have more room.
All right, well, that'll be gone.
Are we having that awful pause after the wedding before we start?
Oh, no, just one little thing.
Yeah, I think so. Unless I go out and come back in again.
Jonathan, why don't we mark out the pas de deux quickly, before Bobby arrives?
All right, from the top.
Yes, so yampa, 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 da-da, yampa, 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 da-da, yampa. When I turn left, yampa, yampa, da-da, yampa, so bass, yata-ta-ti, yata-ta-ta-ta, pull, yata-ti, da-da, yampa, da-da. Lift, yampa, yampa. No. I've always done the lift.
All right, well, whatever. Something there.
Yeah. And yampa, diagonal, yampa, da-da, pumpa, da, pumpa, da, pump. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
And how are you finishing?
Well, I've done that. Let's go back then.
All right, back.
It looks more like the second act.
Okay.
So then, upper, da dee da dee da dee.
One arm, the other arm.
Dee da 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 dee da dee da da.
Oh, you're off. Right.
Dee da 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 dee da da da. Kiss the yum, pom.
Now
Then the pirouettes for attitude.
What are those?
Pirouette. Oh, you know, we turn it on. If we just think about dee da dee da dee da. Yeah, and I fall in a diagonal line that way. Boom.
Finish attitude. Well, that's nice.
Fine. Then call you.
Okay, this way?
And the lift. You know, it's very easy because I tell you everything I do. You just follow me. Around.
And now it's going to Danton, yes?
No, I tell you what, I had rather a nice version here. You've just put me down from the lift, I read.
Yeah.
So I do bourrée, 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 remembering the swan, and I call you, and you come.
This one?
No, come on.
That one?
Now, yes, come the other side of me, here. I teach, here.
That way?
Yes. Now I do a finger turn, here. Down. Down. Now
what?
I'll teach you.
What do I do?
And boom. You put your hand there. One hand there.
Like that?
That's right, yes. And then I turn underneath you there.
Now wait.
You turn like that, you see, and you've got one hand, you turn it up, and then you bring me up, whoops, like that.
All in one hand, just like that.
No, it's actually very easy. What you have to do is, I do a balance, you let go. You take me for one hand, you make me fall on my nose, and then I'm straight.
Right.
No, but I'm straight. Then you switch, and bring me up.
Well, we better try it, I think. Right, there.
There. Now.
Right,
Whoops.
Lord, here we go. Right.
Boom. Underneath. That's it. You see, easy.
Not so bad. If I keep you really forward, it helps.
If you think I'm falling, I'm straight.
You will. Done that.
Let's go back to the other diagonal. Jimmy,
What are you reading?
Death of a ballerina.
Jimmy, can we get to some work? Slater, who's conducting tonight.
Well?
Bobby, you're going to save us. The thing is that we've done so many different versions of Swan Lake in different countries with different partners. We've never done it together, and tonight we've got to get up and do the Black Swan pas de deux here. And in a few days we've got the full length version. So if only we can find a version and try and keep... Yes. Actually, before we go into the Black Swan, would you mind if I ask you a few things which are... I'm muddling them all up, I think. In the White Swan pas de deux, or before, in fact, it's the first entrance.
When you come on?
Yes. Because I've just seen a version that the Russians do, where we go, step, 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 tiam, 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 tiam. You know, I think it's sort of like
Darling, Anna Pavlova in The Dying Swan never came off point to signify that she was floating all the time. Now, a swan, when it's on the water or in the air, is very graceful. But walk? Yeah. She must land. So she's just landed. Now, Kasavna told me that the transition from swan to woman happens in these first three arabesques. The first one after she's landed is very swan-like. The second, not so swan-like. She's becoming conscious of being a woman. The third, she is a woman. And then,
oh, I see. So in fact, all these swan
and it's the reverse at the end. See, after she has finished the coda, and von Rothbach going back, she gradually becomes a swan.
So one should hardly use these arms in the middle. It's only the first entrance and the last.
This is but lost. From midnight to dawn, she is a woman. That is the whole point.
So it's with the Socha and with the...
Yeah, let's try. No, heavy wings.
Slower. Oh, I see.
Now, very swan-like. not be permitted by von Rothschild.
I see.
Well, did you used to go off before or stay on?
Oh yes, because you see her fly, or you see the swan fly.
Yes, and you see the gold crown, which is extraordinary. Yes.
So you're puzzled by this. So you must help her interest by seeing her fly. Sing. Then, suddenly you see this bird with a crown. So naturally you hide, because you don't want her to fly away. Right. You don't realize that during these 3 hours of this, she's going to become a woman.
That's what I'm surprised at.
Sometimes there's the princess clutching onto a wing here or something like that.
No, you must be off.
I'll be off, okay.
The other thing was for pas de deux, from the blanc.
Yeah.
I have a problem there. Do you think she should look at him or not?
Not look at him. Not look at him. And not hands, wrists. So you allow her hands to be free. You have 4 bunches of bananas. Right. Yes, go on. In fact, you don't take her hand at all, even in the next step. It's wrists. Very on the music, Maynard. Steady. And up. And steady. Yeah. Wrists.
Yes, that makes it nicer.
Yes. But it allows your hands to be free, you see. That's it. Allow her to fall. Good.
Actually, in the original version, there was a friend, wasn't there, who caught her on this thing when she
I
fell?
never understood that. It always irritated me. A friend, Benno, the prince's friend. He never appears again. It seemed to be that he was only put into the ballet to catch her at that moment.
Yeah.
He did live to it, didn't he?
Oh, I wish another one there.
So when I did it for the Royal Ballet, I eliminated Benno because it seems such a lyrical, romantic, intimate party to why do you want someone to stand there?
Yeah.
And all those idiotic huntsmen standing around.
The back.
Surely they would rush back to the village and say, the prince has found a swan. Out. It's a very lyrical, romantic, intimate party. This whole act is you, the Queen, and von Rothbard, nobody else.
Yeah. Much nicer.
The swan, sure.
Bobby, I think we should do the Black Swan because we're not going to have much time.
In the complete ballet, it's absolutely right that you come on together because you've just arrived, he's been showing you the palace, and this is fine. But if you're doing it purely as a piece of virtuoso and gala performance, I think it's more effective if you come on opposite sides.
Yeah.
So we present this.
So you both have entries.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, I was doing a swanny bit. Yeah.
You leave her nothing to do. Come on.
Just
You're
straight to
building
her.
her in. as opposed to the second act, you are fascinating him by your brilliance. So everything has to be brilliant.
I was afraid of being too bitchy somehow.
It's not bitchy, it's fascinating and brilliant. You don't have to be bitchy by doing that. So it wants to be brilliant. Everything has to sparkle in this act.
Brilliant, not bitchy.
Not good. This step is correct. But I think if you're doing it purely as a show, I think the lift, the leg lift, is more effective. So what you can do, point leg, lift.
Excuse me, under my leg.
Yeah.
Try one.
Try one without the music. Like that?
That one?
Good. Good. Now, Jonathan, when she does it, at the top of the lift, just give her a throw, not a great big Don Quixote throw. Push up just enough to show lightness. It makes a great difference. Shall we try one? Ah!
Oh, I like that.
Great. Ah! Come forward. After the turn, you put your hand there. Now let him get his hand there, and then there. Now the evilness of the character is not in your face. You wouldn't go around Paris ganging him, but it's in your hand. So let him get his hand first. This is fine in the ballet. But I think, as again, in a Gala performance, I think the size is better.
Yeah, I was doing that because again I was trying to resemble a white swan.
If the next step is more clear to the mind. This is a build-up to what I think will happen in the next step. This is really for the second act to remind me. After you've done look here, and you do the hands here, when he gets there, now there, and just for 1 second as though you were going to fly, and then you feel him behind you. He puts his hand. It's a come on. Big man. Ah, good. Just for feeling right. Wait. Now. Yeah. No. not so much a down, sort of now you kiss my hand. Put over. Careful, come.
I just thought it was an effective one because it's one of those things that everybody seems in this pas de deux to put in all the things that they can do brilliantly. Well, it does make sense because surely she's using her technique and each ballerina should use her technique to dazzle the
I
prince.
quite agree, but I mean, it doesn't dazzle the prince. I mean, it's much more dazzling to keep reminding him constantly that you are what you're not, the swan thing. So I think this is better, and then the same fall as you do in the second act. Let her fall. Yeah.
So you finish the pirouette.
Pirouette. There.
There.
Now?
Yeah.
Just let go a bit.
There.
Now she goes.
Up away.
You have to help her back. That's it. That's it. That's it.
Oh, so it's like the second act.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Can we catch the second one? Sorry.
That's it. Lead him on. Good.
I don't know if you're going to like this, Bobby. It's a new version. Bobby, it's meant to be a one-hander.
Yeah. I don't like it. It's quite. It's all right. It's all right. You're going to do it at a gala performance, but in the complete ballet, it's out of context. This has nothing to do with the rest of the choreography. It's modern. It's
But do you think it's better because I don't hold my back? If I have
I
a
think
swanny
if you're
back.
going to do it, and I don't mind if you do it just for the gala performance, but not in the ballet, that you do it. But she must, once she's down, it must be quick. Whoop.
I'm just
Must
slow, I
be
think, in the
finished.
change.
I mean, it's dull, and you get all your behind. It's very unattractive. Once more, just without the music, just the quickness. Quick. That's it. Mainly you can help him with your hands as you come to. All right.
Quite coordinated with you.
We'll try it after.
Brilliant.
Yes, it's a bit slowed down.
Before you go into the position, after the last pirouette, the grand you say, when you hear, give him a look. Good.
So now you see me, now you don't.
Yeah, now you see it. A reminder, again, of technique, you're not sure whether you lift too far out of the reminder, so you have to keep reminding them all the time. Must not come over. Must be absolutely on the road. It must go over. Must be absolutely straight. Mustn't go this way. And also, you must never let For a woman, it's terribly unattractive.
Yes.
You must keep the line. She must keep the line of her arm. So it doesn't matter if you go yours. She must stretch.
Let's try it again.
Try again. Yeah.
No, that's not
going
far.
the other way. Now I'm going to put my foot together.
Ready? And.
That's it.
Maynard, you have a fitting.
Margie, you can see I'm busy.
Yes, I'm busy.
Margie, I'm busy.
Could I just...
Margie, darling, sit down. We've got to do the end of a procedure. We've got to do
No.
In a minute.
Just the balance. Now, Jonathan, as we've stopped,
Yes.
when you get her in the balance, don't just step away as much as say, oh, well, there she is. Left of there.
Yeah.
It's absolutely miraculous that she's got a balance. If she does.
Yes.
Sometimes
We'll be honest.
elbows, hands. Now, collapse. That's right.
I didn't set it up very well in the beginning, I think.
Yeah, now I think if I hold my side, that...
Yeah.
Do you mind?
But
Maybe...
no.
Yes, if you do your solo, I'll just...
Jonathan, the first step in your solo.
Beginning.
To begin.
Can I start here or a bit down?
A little bit down, it's a bit too far upstairs. In all these variations, it doesn't happen anymore.
But people just think of up. They think of the left. Now, everybody knows again. But mentally, think of up.
Yum, that's the end of the step. The mental. It's purely and simply a mental approach to a step. The other two were not as good. No. It's something you must think about. Think up.
Yeah. On everything. Really.
Now the last step, then you do, what's the second step? Yes, I know. No. The last step, the two on left. You did the same thing. You turned before you were up. Tour en l'air means turn in the air, not tour en halfway up. So get to the key. Very difficult. But think of that. If you think that.
And on the turns too, because on the floor.
On the turns too, and particularly on the swing. And the same applies to you, Maynard, in your variation. In the turns on attitude, don't drop your leg, pull up. Let me see. Do you know her variation?
It's the diagonal that really worries me.
Yeah, but I'd like to see I'd like to see. You drop just on the third, you drop your knee. And you must hold your back, hip, and knee. If you drop there, you're gone. No,
It's a bit like a little dog.
No. And when you finish the turn, the come down is through the foot. You're planting down. That's why you're falling. That's it. Just one more.
I have to miss this one. Point. Or down.
Yeah, no. That was the best. That was the best.
Yes.
All right.
What did I did hold
How many?
Shall I try the diagonal?
Anyway, the piano won't be there. But I wouldn't do that here on this grade. I would finish just grand.
Just open, not funny on.
No, you do it in the ballet.
Yes.
In the complete ballet, yes. But in the...
It'll be safer to do it just here. Pagoda.
What bit do you want to check?
To do the lift.
What about the foyer days?
Well, Bobby, I don't think the point is...
Every ballerina pretends they're not there, and they are there.
Well,
so I want to see the quality of the job.
Yes, well, I thought if I had to do them here, I'd try them very steady, you know, and do the stirring ones, the stirring the cauldron.
Well, let me see. Climax of your brilliance in this act. And firstly, the whip is the important thing. The whip and the head. After all, that's the important thing. This slows it down. It can be used in some ballets, but at this moment in the ballet, it's the brilliance.
But it's too quick, it really means whip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
so I'll try
couple more.
At the end?
Just the end, yes. Because then I have to do a larger piece. Sorry, I'm on your way.
It's too like the end of Aurora's verse. Aurora's song.
I
think
thought it was
it's fine up to the pirouette and the lift, and then a tremendous finish there. This is
finish in our best. Hands off.
No, hand up. Yeah. Get your perfect. Get here. That's it. That's it. That's
So it's so grand. And then not do the fish.
Cut the fish.
Maynard, I must do this fitting now.
But Margie, I can't. We've got Madam coming later to rehearse us in checkmate, and I've got to get something to eat.
I know. I've got 81 tutus to make. Look, no fitting, no costume, no performance. That's it.
I think I'll have to do it very quickly. I don't know why it always comes just...
Bobby, that's a big help for me. I think if I think about what you said on the arabesque, standing back and presenting her,
You
all the way
must
through the
present
ballet.
everything she does. It's your business to present her
Yes.
as not only as a miraculous thing in your life, but to the public. You know, present the ballerina.
But don't you think it's very much the Prince's ballet, really, Swan Lake? Because at least as much as Odette. Because he's on from the first act to the fourth. No, I mean, he's on 1, 2, 3,
I
4.
often try to make it so. I I'm not sure I succeeded.
But who taught you, Bobby, the first time the Swan Lake before you danced it?
The first time that the Established World did it for a complete version, when I danced, which was marvellous for me with Alicia Markova, I was taught it by Sergei, who they had brought over from Paris to stay. And he was a marvellous old boy, but he just stayed the best. And it was wonderful for me to dance, but I was always worried about the character of the princess. It had so many loose ends, so many things that I couldn't work out, so many things that weren't logical, because longing to be an actor, everything had to be logical. And luckily, the Valois sent me to Cassava to learn mime. And she explained to me that you have to have a dialogue running in your mind with all these mime scenes. Now, I watched you from the back of the theatre. A perfect example of it was, you said, why? You said, why? Now, there were, Cassava explained, there were hundreds of ways of saying, why? 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 You see? So if you didn't bring out the important words in the dialogue that was running in your mind, it became dull. It's like an actor saying, to be or not to be, that is the question whether it is no better than mine to suffer slings and arrows without great report. They don't listen. They don't listen. So the same with the mime scene. Unless it's clear in your mind what you're saying, it isn't clear to the audience. And people say, oh, these dreary old mime scenes. They're not dreary. They're done drearily. Very shortly, they eliminate mime scene after mime scene after mime scene and put in choreography. Very shortly, these classics will become abstract. One variation after another variation. I mean, they do the mime scene now, I see them, but I know that in their mind they're thinking, oh, hell, I've got to do those pirouettes things. And it doesn't mean anything. And you have to, when you're doing these classics, you have to write your own dialogue with whoever you're doing it with, and think it. Now, in opera and ballet, this is absolutely essential, because the words are not there. In the drama, the words are there. So, even if you're not thinking of them, they speak for themselves. But in opera and ballet, you have to think of what you are doing. Otherwise, it is dead and will die. Another thing in the mime scenes, they play them flat on now, and it should be there. You should give as you're playing them. Very important. Now, Maria Callas once said to me, and she was a great actress in opera, and she made it quite clear to the opera world that acting was essential, not just arias. She said to me, why is it they always say in the third act of Traviata, Callas's voice is getting weaker and weaker? She said, I'm dying of consumption. I'm dying of consumption. What do they expect? And this is true. So it made it clear to the public. It was moving. It moved the public. It moved. The performance made it alive. Now, it's not only necessary for you to know, you have to then make the audience know. And this is difficult, because it's gradually dying in this thing. And it must be kept alive, otherwise the classics are useless. Now let's try a pirouette.
Oh, John, do you want to try something quickly?
Yeah,
because I think it's a bit big.
You think that's a bit big?
No.
Just try a lift. See if you can see my legs through. Okay? Oh, Marty, I can't lift a leg. This elastic is so tight. Can you cut it?
I can't cut it now, Maynard. My goodness, the truth would be your suppy.
Oh, Marty, no, just make it loose. A back bend quickly. Margie, I'm going to come right out.
Oh, Maynard, don't be shy. The people want to see your figure.
But Margie...
Oh, no, you really? You don't want a polo neck?
No, Margie, but some decorations.
Well,
There's something quickly. Because I have to
What about
hurry up. Now, how about this?
Well, I thought maybe something
Oh,
like...
no, I'm going to look like a dowager duchess like that. No, look, a long line here, like this, and lots of jewels, lots of sequins, so it really sparkles, yeah?
Okay, yes. And this, if you're up there, please, can we have some good lighting? I want lots and lots of light on it, because this costume's got to shine. I'm not sewing all the jewels on for nothing.
I don't need them, but I'll tell you.
What about the skirt?
I'll be right away now. Bobby, thank you so much.
Good luck, darling.
Will you be at the performance tonight?
Of course.
I'll try and think of all you've been saying. Look, will you order me something to eat? I must sit.
Jonathan. Yeah. Now remember that everything you do, apart from presenting her marvelously in the classics, in steps and variations, is up, up. Otherwise these classics die.
Yeah.
It's got to be up, up.
Hello.
don't ask me if I want anything too slow or too quick. It's a lovely line, but you've stolen it from Thomas Beecham. I'm talking about Thomas Beecham. I have a story to tell you about him. When he was conducting the second act of Blackness Theatres, most beautifully in the Commodore Society, we came into the little sickness dance. And it was taken at such a tempo that I had to find courage from somewhere and go up to him and say, Sir Thomas, honestly, it's not possible. They cannot do any of the steps at that rate. He said, my dear young girl, it was many years ago. My dear young lady, he said, I know you're here to look after these dancers, but I'm here to protect the unfortunate Tchaikovsky. With Tchaikovsky. And I wonder where Maynard is. I'm talking away.
Maynard? Maynard? Oh,
She left me down.
Oh, there's
not ready.
anyway.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
I'm so sorry I'm late.
Famous last word from the Valley.
I'm sorry for that.
It's an awful thing. Put it on. Oh, I can see you.
In 20 minutes, it's because I have to go and put on my crown for the black swan that we're going to
But then will it go in time for me to say, now let's go right to it once?
Well, we must go through it.
Okay. It's a horrible thing. I can't bear it. Well, let's get started. This is the time.
Just the part to do.
Just the part to do, and stop here for quick. Don't dance too much out at the beginning, so enough for me to see what's wrong, that's all. The floor space influences everything he choreographs afterwards, because it comes up from the floor to the body of the dancer. So if you turn a diagonal line into a horizontal line, you have room in the choreography when the spectators enter, and dancers don't realize that. They're always changing the floor space. Now don't you change it in this, particularly what are the moves? Right, and yes, the sound. Remember one thing. line. It comes from your mind. The arm, in your hand, is only the pencil that marks it. So it's no good thinking, my sword's going down onto the floor. My sword's just going down. It's not. You've got it up here. Now there's a great design in the air there, and your mind follows that sword from its tip right down to the ground. Follow it. And when you've got it there, follow it all the time. Otherwise it becomes dead. Look when you retract, you see, when you get down to them. Now try it for me. Right, and... You better take it. Right.
I heard the music and I thought you might need me.
You should go and relax. Oh, where's your chair? Relax in your chair, and when we run through it, you do all the more that you used to do. I don't remember what we were.
I tell you, after I joined the band for 15 years, we had you say, the new boy, you over there, you.
After that.
We'll cut to the scene alone. Can you remember about going that way first? We're going to be
I don't know.
I'll make the fences for you there.
All right.
This is
Now,
a
don't
bit
just
where
argue
it's
about
left
which
alone.
is the correct version or which is the...
Before the court.
I'll do what I remember, and you say what you remember.
We don't have a chance, if I may say so. I've been trying to say, this is the scene just before the court come on to catch him. He's left all alone on the stage. Right. Before you come back. And see, you've got it very much on this side. It's exactly just as big a movement.
Yeah.
I want these two half circles against your little jerks.
Yeah.
Just try it once more. And... get it. You're always either written there or there.
Yeah.
All right, the way round. It's at the beginning each time. Da, 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 da. Da, da, then.
Yeah.
But first here. Yeah, wait. Just once more. And. What are you going to do?
Would you like to set the stage for the performance this evening?
It's a very good idea. Would you mind going away for a moment? He's worse than the clock. All right, we'll just straight on.
Straight on?
I think so. Or do you want not to? Would you rather go talk about what you want to talk about?
I'd like the first entrance worries me. I know it's decrepit and old, but surely it's majestic.
Yes, you've got to get the feeling that an old king with still enough mind left in him at that moment for the dignity of the situation of coming on to meet his court.
Yeah.
So you do want to make it touching, really.
Yeah.
It's meant to be quite touching, and whenever you collapse, you always try and hide the collapse. Gently.
Yeah.
And then you come back again and return to your dignity before you go forward.
Lighting for the gala.
Yes, well, the stage is nearly set. Graham, if you can hear me, could you fill this, please? And give us the opening light.
Well, Jonathan! I'm not seeing Jonathan was just there. They were going to see the light. It's kind of dark. Nina said she'd seen me move a whole barrier across the stage to get in the light, so could we have a spot?
Adrian, could you pick up Jonathan in colour 825? No, make it 36, I think. Nice and hard.
Jonathan, I know everybody, dancers always say I'm blind. It's better to do 4 pirouettes to be seen than 8 not to be seen. 8. Can you soften?
Yes, if you'd soften it a bit, please, Adrian.
And what about the side lights? Are they going to be balanced?
Yes.
They haven't eaten for a week.
No. We've got them. You can't be incinerated all the time. The side lights are fine. Yeah. That looks good.
All right.
Okay. Go ahead.
Thank you, Adrian.
All right. Ready to start?
We are almost, yes. Thank you. Standing by, please. Fade to black out.
Another class. Another rehearsal. Nothing to eat.